Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt. Another day, another dollar, another ammunition test. Got some IMI systems to check out today from Sam and SG Ammo. This is a 124 grain plus P jacketed hollow point, the Black Dot. Let's throw him on the table and see what we have in store today. For all of our 9mm testing, we bring out a multitude of barrel lengths all the way from 3 inches up to and including 16 inches if we have it. After we've collected our velocity, we check our accuracy, and because this is a jacketed hollow point, we're going to test it in some clear ballistics gel as well today. We have our Pro Chrono Digital DLX. It's about 70 to 75 degrees outside. The sun is hiding, so that's a good thing for me. For any of you that are fairly well versed in ammunition and different tip color designations, normally a black painted tip would indicate armor piercing, but in this case typically IMI uses black on the tips of 9mm to indicate that it is a plus P or higher pressure loading. Without further ado, we'll get all of our stuff set up and we're going to have some fun today. Up first, we'll start with our shortest barrel length, which is our 3-inch Springfield Hellcat. I really like the factory sights on this gun, not to mention the 13-round magazine. So we only have to load up one magazine versus the Sig Sauer P938. We used to have to load a couple, and I think this one handles the hotter loads a little better. See if we get all 10 on the chronograph this time. There we go, we got all 10 on there. We are actually very close to being supersonic from just the little 3-inch barrel. It will be interesting to see how the velocity climbs over our different barrel lengths. And now for our everybody's got one of them Glocks. This is a Glock 19 Gen 4 MOS. We have a Holosun 407C up top. Otherwise, this remains largely factory pistol. I probably want to put a trigger kit on here, maybe some different sights on it at one point. Good little velocity jump there. We are now supersonic with our 4-inch. On to the next barrel length. And now on to our 4.5-inch barrel. This is an Ahrex Delta Gen 2 long slide. We have a Holosun 507C up top. Almost done with the review on this pistol. I'm really liking the factory trigger on it. I also really like the 19-round factory magazines with the +2 base pad on there. .1200 feet per second, not too bad. And now on to our 5-inch. This is from CMMG. This is their MK9 300 series Banshee. This uses the radial delayed blowback. These are really soft shooting guns. This particular model takes the Colt stick magazines, 32 rounds. This one's flat dark earth. I do believe this is from Duramag. Got a Trijicon MRO up top. Sorry, I forgot to close the laptop screen there. Not too bad. I wonder if we'll see 1300 in the Evo. Now on to our 7.72 inch. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is one of my favorite pistol caliber carbines. This is our CZ Scorpion Evo 3 S1 SBR, various HBI parts on this over the years. Got the Airgun trigger pack in there. Hopefully AR15.com releases the review for that before I release the review of this ammunition. We should have a contest and see who gets there first. Close, almost 1,300 feet per second. Not quite there yet though. And now for our 16-inch, I borrowed this from a friend. This is your basic AR9. Takes Glock magazines, various parts of interest on here. If you see something you like, ask me about it and I'll try to answer down in the comments below. Ooh, good velocity. Cool. Very good results from our IMI Black Point. First group, 0.831 inches. Second group, 0.679. Our third group was the worst at 1.095 inches. Then our fourth group, 0.570. And then our last group, 0.77. Very good accuracy at this load. 25 yards in the 16-inch with the primary arms. 18 power with all the zooms, parallax down to 25 yards. So this is very, very best case scenario. It's about 95 degrees outside today, very humid, minimal to no wind. I will take those groupings. All right, everybody, time to slap that jello. I've got our clear ballistics gel block, 6x6x16, 10% at 12 feet. We've got our chronograph set up. We're going to shoot from the 3-inch, the 4-inch, the 7.72, and then the 16-inch. We'll go down and take a look at those results after we've shot all 4 of them. Hopefully we get them all on the block. If not, I've got some extra blocks and plenty of ammunition. You'll have to probably forgive any continuity errors because I actually forgot the heavy denim that I wanted to use today. So if in the next screens you see me in a different shirt, you know that was a different day. I pretty much forgot most everything I wanted to bring out today. So we'll start with a 3-inch. Upper left of the block. Ended up being like dead center middle, close enough. Good velocity off that. And now our 4-inch Glock 19. Make sure I get lined up on the old chronograph here. Place that a little close to the 3-inch. And now our 7.72 inch barrel. This is where it gets interesting. Good velocity jump, usually right here. Should have lined up with the old block here. Should be 2 inches low. All right where I wanted it. And finally our 16-inch. I forgot to write the offset down at this closer range for how many inches down will be on the red dot. Let's hope it's 2 inches. Yeah, about 2.5, not bad. Let's go see what we did. All right, we got all 4 shots into this block with good enough separation that I feel these are good results. This guy that you see right here in the foreground is our 3-inch, our first shot. We have good disruption very early on, and we're not going to see a whole lot of large wound cavities because these are pistol rounds, so they're not going as fast as rifles. So right around to the 12.5-inch mark is our bullet right there. Looks like it expanded very nicely. That's good from a 3-inch that we got expansion. Then behind it that you see diving down to the 13.5-inch mark right here is our 4-inch Glock. Pretty good results there. We're staying above the minimum. Now right here, we got a little bit of fragmentation starting because of that velocity gain. This is our 7.72-inch barrel. So all the way out to the almost basically the 15-inch mark. You can see him right there. Really good penetration there. Good ideal PCC load. We will get all of these out of the block in a minute. And then our 16-inch load, our depth for penetration is right around the 13-inch mark. I shot it a little low. You can see that we're starting to get more fragmentation from that velocity gain. You can see some fragmentation here. You can see some jackets in the wound track there. More of the jacket there. And then there is our final round. Pretty impressive and consistent performance. Like I said, we will shoot this against some heavy clothing to see how that affects this bullet from expanding. But overall, not bad at all. There you have it, folks, our marching orders. There is our 3-inch, our 4-inch, our 7.72, and the 16. You can see why the 16 got more penetration because of the fragmentation that occurred. So the bullet expanded more and shed more of its material. So its overall maximum expanded diameter is smaller than the 3-inch. So it got deeper. Pretty interesting. I'm glad that we're seeing good expansion out of the shortest barrel length that we test in, so that if you're using anywhere from a 3 to 4 to 5-inch pistol for personal protection or home defense, that you're going to get expansion out of this, at least against unclothed targets. Another barrier I thought of testing with our black dot is a quote-unquote heavy clothing test. I don't have access to 14-ounce denim. I probably should order some online, but the local Joann Fabrics only has 10-ounce. So I've got 2 10-ounce layers of that denim. I've got some Cordura type fabric, another 2 layers of that, followed by another 2 layers of our 10-ounce denim. We'll take a shot with each barrel length, and then we'll go down and see what we did. This does have quite the small hollow point cavity on it compared to some of the other ones. So it'll be interesting to see if it clogs up or not. Now our 4-inch. Now our pistol caliber carbine length barrel, 7.72 inches. Good velocity off that, some smoke rolling down there. And finally, our Lightning McQueen, our 16-inch. All right, let's go see what we did. We have a nice, fresh, clear ballistics gel block here, so we can see pretty good what's going on. They've been sitting in the Rubbermaid container, so a lot of the crinkles have gotten out of at least a few of the sides. These two wound tracks that you see up top here that are rather uneventful are from the 3 and 4 inch. And they're uneventful because they penetrate all the way out to the 27 and 26 inch mark. Those do not appear to have expanded. We'll dig those out in a minute. Now, our little guy right here at the 13 inch mark is the 7.72, and then right at around the 11 inch mark with our fragments that you see there is the 16 inch. So against heavy clothing, it would seem that this particular bullet design favors that velocity jump from the longer barrels for good expansion. I'll take a couple shots off camera with HST against the same barrier and see if we get expansion out of that. Here are recovered rounds from our Denim 3 inch, 4 inch, 7.72, and the 16 inch. Good expansion out of that 16 inch. This is not a bonded bullet, so that's why we're seeing those jacket fragments come off them when we start picking up that velocity. But in a PCC, and you wanted to use this as personal protection, you know you're going to get expansion against heavy clothing. Just for comparison's sakes, I fired some 147 grain plus P HST from the 3 inch, the 4 inch, and then the 16 inch. And you can see even that barrier is hard for HST to expand in. It still did expand, you know, different bullet technology, different research and development. The 16 inch, very nice flower there. You can see that material stuck in the center of that cavity. All of these exceeded 14 inches of penetration. The 16 inch was right around 17, so pretty good. Well, everyone, it's about time to wrap this guy up and put a bow on it and finish our assessment of this 124 grain die cut plus P loading from IMI Systems. We had very good velocity across all of our barrel lengths from the 3 inch to the 16 inch. I didn't have any function issues in any of the guns except the 16 inch. It may be due to the angle of the magazine presenting it to the feed angle, but I did have 2 failures to feed where it got stuck on the feed ramp and then it jammed the bullet into the case quite a bit. So then I set those aside, so I don't want to fire those because that could increase the pressure a little bit. But in our standard feed ramp arrangement pistols, we had no issues, didn't have any light primer strikes or anything. We had really good accuracy at 25 yards. Usually with 9mm, as long as I'm at 1 inch or under, I consider that good accuracy, at least firing it out of a 16 inch from a lead sled on a bench with an 18 power scope. Your mileage may vary shooting it out of a actual pistol. As far as our gel results go, I feel this 124 grain loading is way better than the original 115 grain loading that I tested 5 years prior. In bare gel, we got expansion out of all the barrel lengths. We started to see a little bit of fragmentation as we stepped up in the velocity in our PCCs. Even against our heavy clothing test, while we didn't get expansion in the shorter barrel lengths, we did see it with the longer. Off camera, I did fire a couple rounds of this, one from the 3 inch and one from the 16 inch at some 1.5 inch pine board. And I assumed correctly based on testing of that pine board in a different video that I wasn't going to get any expansion, and that's exactly what happened. The wood kind of clogs up that tip and doesn't allow it to expand. Probably not a good test medium for me to continue to use. All in all, I would probably place our die cut 124 grain plus P black dot right below where I would consider HST, Ranger T, Gold Dot, or some of the copper monolithic hollow points in terms of preference. Now, if I couldn't get any of those loads and I was looking to stock up on a jacketed hollow point for practice or even as a self-defense load, I would definitely consider this against any of the other more budget-oriented loads that we see from other manufacturers in the 115 to 124 grain. As I close this one out, I'm still surprised I'm standing. I'm not actually sore today from doing deadlifts yesterday. Maybe it will kick in tomorrow. I take a moment at the end of all my videos to thank all those who help make these possible. Number one is my Patreon supporters. Number two is Sam at SG Ammo, who in full transparency sent me that to do my review on and give you guys that unbiased information. And of course, number three is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range. For all of our 9mm testings, I bring out a multitude